Yo, what's going on, guys? Happy Friday to everybody in here right now. We're gonna get started in just a minute. We're getting a couple things ready. Appreciate y'all, all my mods, everybody coming in here right now too. Kangas Krans, Dizzy, Bella, Chris, Steven, Laura. Appreciate y'all. Steven, that's a no for me.
Cancel expedition.
Oh, okay, no, let's go. Let's go ahead and say hi to everybody right now. What's going on, everybody? Yo, now we got the Charizard. Let's go. I'm hoping we can get at least 12 people in here.
We just hit 1K live on the stream.
Is Rev really rating right now? 3,000 people in chat right now. What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to Jay's Corner Collector Podcasts, episode number 1. Welcome in. We got our good friend Get You in the building. What's going on, Get You? How you doing today?
What up, gang? Get You here, back at it with another podcast video. Hold up.
Yeah, that's Professor Get You to you.
Ho!
Hey, man, good to see you. Cheers to you guys. Happy Friday.
Yeah, cheers. Cheers. Yeah.
Yeah, get a little sip of your drink. All right, guys, we are in here. I think we kind of me and Get You were kind of talking, not really talking about it, but in passing about the good, the bad, the ugly things in like Pokemon, like all culminating, and we kind of just wanted to talk about it, and we figured it'd make a good podcast, a way to kick off the channel with guests in here. So, I mean, all you guys are familiar with Get You, I think, in here. First of all, Kangas Krans, 026 Gonzo, Steven Con, Dizzy, Clampy, Laura was in here, fella Chris. Hey, Get You repping the fella Chris merch. We'd love to see it, man.
Shout out to my boy Feller.
Pidgey Boys was in here as well. So, yeah, if you guys want to join in on the conversation, ask some questions, let us know. I mean, I guess we could just hop back right into it, man. The good side. There's a ton of good sides to the hobby that we're all like a part of, whether it be just strictly on the collector side or whether it be, on the content creation side. What was the thing that kind of drew you into it, Get You?
Drew me
into like Pokemon, back into Pokemon.
Oh, back into Pokemon. Getting fired. Yeah, during the pandemic.
Yeah,
that's what it was, because you know, I put all my Pokemon stuff in my Pokemon backpack that I would carry around as a kid,
Yeah.
and I left it in the I just left it in the closet for like 20 plus years. Everything, like everything that I had as a kid, it all went into that one backpack, and it all stayed there in one place. I did move a couple of times throughout my life, but all the stuff stayed in the backpack. It was just all in there, sealed. So when I got fired slash laid off, whatever, that's when I started cleaning stuff out, and I'm sorry, Mama. I didn't mean to hurt
Clean out your closet.
I didn't mean to make you cry, but tonight I'm cleaning out my closet. One more time.
I remember. Hey, you gonna give me a copyright strike, and we're not even monetized on this channel yet, man.
Oh man. I'm sorry, Jay. Change the lyrics a little bit. Yeah, dude. So the backpack just stayed in there. I was cleaning stuff out. I pulled the backpack out, and I said, I told myself, I had some really good memories as a kid, doing this Pokemon thing, doing the gym leader biz back in the day, and I really wanna let me put some of my favorite cards up. Let me display them on the wall. Let me go to Michael's and buy a $10, $15 frame,
right?
And and just display them, just to make it look nice. So that's kind of like where it started. Just wanting to display my pieces, and then after that, I wanted to complete old vintage decks.
Gotcha.
Because I did have 2 vintage decks that I used back in the day that are completed, but I was like, oh man, what if I meet other people, and maybe I want to have like a variety of options for those folks. So
hey, you're ready. You're ready. You're trying to get your repertoire ready so you could just come at them from different angles, huh?
Hey, I wasn't even expecting to do anything, boom, nothing. You
remember how people? Well, I would wear like the basketball shorts underneath my jeans or anything like that. Like at school, people would wear the basketball shorts underneath that. That was you with the Pokemon decks ready. It's like, hey, for any occasion, I got this deck on
honestly,
deck.
I wouldn't take them to school. Because people in my class, they like Pokemon, and some of them maybe did collect on the side. But because I wasn't too close to a lot of folks at school because just of the negative things that were placed upon me by the teachers.
Yeah.
They kind of shied away from hanging out with me, and that reputation eventually would get to their parents, so they might not want to have their kids hang out with me. So shit, I forgot what we were talking about.
Just we were just starting off with the fact the good side of what really brought you back into it. So I kind of wanted to segue back into it.
So the friends at school, I didn't really have too many folks that I would talk to about Pokemon at school, so I wouldn't take my Pokemon stuff to school. Mm-hmm. There we go. That's why I was brought that up. But I always kept that at home. And I did have one friend a best friend that I would consider that I met in 4th, 5th grade that kind of transferred from another school who was kind of going through similar things that I was. Yeah. He was being more picked on than anything by the students instead of the teachers. Mm-hmm. So, we clicked up right away. He was into video games. I was into video games. And that's how we started just building from there. We got into Pokemon together. We went to tournaments together. We pretty much did everything Pokemon related back in the day together, including going on top of the SSN and participating in that Super Trainer Showdown tournament in 2000.
Back in the day, all the way back in the day.
Yeah. I even got a plaque right here. I don't know if I showed you before. I got a plaque to prove it. The SSN, they used the Queen Mary. They used the Queen Mary and decorated it as a SSN. Here's
That's
my plaque.
funny.
And here, there's the stamp, fingerprint by Machamp.
Hey, he was present too, or what?
Yeah. Machamp was present. He was finger stamped with the ink, right there. But yeah, dude. Anyways, that's why one of the reasons why Pokemon meant so much to me
Right.
because I was able to be in a leadership position, and I've never been like in a leadership position prior to that before, let
Hmm.
alone be seen as a positive individual. That's why it really meant a lot to me, and that's why I wanted to frame the things on the wall. That's why I wanted to rebuild decks, vintage decks. At
Yeah.
that time, I didn't know anybody that I could battle or that knew how to play the old school trading card game. And then after that, then I looked into okay, like I got the frame, I got the card, I got my cards on the wall. I got a couple of vintage decks that I bought some singles and I completed the deck. Like, all right, what's the next step? Like, let's see where Pokemon's at.
Yeah.
Let's see where Pokemon's at the moment. And this was like uh, July, August, around that time, like right before Pokemon really blew up.
Yeah.
And this was during the time when the 20th anniversary ETBs
Yeah.
of Pokemon were at $125.
They're like $500-$600 right now. Generations.
Oof, yes, they are.
Even 120. Like if
And
you were saying it back then, that was still a lot though
yeah,
too. But now it's just
yeah,
like
that's what it was
exponentially.
a lot at that time.
Right.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
before the big boom.
Yeah.
It was a lot because I was looking at that box. I was considering buying either that as
Hmm.
my first Pokemon back entry
Right.
or Vivid Voltage booster box, which was the same price, around the same price.
Hmm.
And so I was like, dude, okay, 10 packs in
36
the
packs.
ETB or
Yeah.
36 packs. Bro, I'm going 36 packs, I'm going in deep. Let me get that. If I really want that ETB, I'll buy it later.
Yeah. Too late. Too late.
Too late. Who knew? Who knew, right?
Yeah, you couldn't.
Um,
You couldn't have
so,
known.
so yeah, it was during the Vivid Voltage Champions Path. That's what I bought a lot of. I
Yeah.
started with Vivid Voltage, and I bought Champions Path simultaneously. And then the Pokemon boom happened,
Right.
and then Rainbow Pikachu went up to like $600+.
It settled down since then, but yeah, Rainbow Pikachu was up there for a minute, and
It was there.
yeah.
When I pulled it on a live stream, I think January 2021, around there.
Mhm.
It was like at $600.
Dang, I remember
Raw.
I pulled it December of 2021, I think. December of 2021. Yeah, so it must have been a lot. Yeah, because I pulled it in the live stream as well. My last one of my last packs too. It was crazy.
So the proof is out there, folks. We're not
Yeah.
making this up. All
Yeah,
right.
I'm not lying. I may
Yeah.
lie about certain things. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So that's the positive about the hobby. It kind of brought it. It gave you a chance to reminisce on like old times, old days, and it brought you
Old
back.
smells.
What was
Old
that?
smells
Oh,
too. Because when I opened up that booster box, the smell of the cards.
Yep.
Oh my God, Jay! Like that's something I distinctly remember from back in the
Dude.
day as well.
absolutely. That is one of the things too. Like one of the, it hits kind of all your senses from like the touch to the sight
Yeah.
to the smell,
Yeah.
to the like the noise too of the pack, everything.
Yeah.
It,
Right. Yeah. The wrapper.
it kind of all brings it back. It brings it back for sure. Because I remember like one of those. Because I've said this before. Like the first couple packs that I had when I was younger, like I opened them up and then whatever Pokemon cards I had, I put them in a shoebox. It was like an empty shoebox, whatever it was. And then every time I would open up that shoebox, it would hit me with like that scent like of the cards.
Yeah.
And-
And it's something that I love about Fella Chris is that he had that card sniffer. Kind of personality that he kind of created for a couple of. Shout out to Fella Chris, bring the card sniffer back. But yeah, so Fella Chris was, bringing attention the smell of the cards, and
Yeah.
and the feelings that come with that as well.
So it gave us a chance to be part of something again, and finding a community that's around Pokemon. And it's one of the big positives, being able to find a lot of other people that are into the same hobby that you've been into since you were younger, and then you finally found it, or it reignited your interest in Pokemon again. So that's definitely like one of the biggest positives, with a lot of people in here, a lot of people coming to the hobby. You find channels, you kind of just you vibe with that channel, or you're able to identify with that individual, or whatever. It's part of the fun, because it's one thing to just enjoy the product, but finding a bunch of other people that enjoy it with you is what makes you stick around, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I'll say that the avenue that gave me that opportunity to do that was gaming, because the channel originally started as Fortnite clips, funny Fortnite clips, or funny moments that would happen in the matches, and I would post those up. And Fortnite started with me really wanting to bond with my nephew. So I could try to get a little closer to my girl's family, get to know them a little bit better.
Yeah.
Video games was something that we can bond, connect over. So it started with the clips, and then that's when I started posting. When all that happened in 2020, that's when I was like, all right, I'm already kind of posting videos on YouTube. I feel comfortable posting Pokemon opening of the booster box as well, because the booster box was $120, and that's a lot. That's expensive.
Imagine asking your mom to spend that much money on Pokemon cards back in the day. It's a wrap. It's a wrap for you.
It's either gonna be, you either got to be asking that around your birthday or around Christmas, but you ain't gonna be asking that in the middle of February or March, or
I would have never imagined to ask for that. I didn't even know what booster boxes were when I was little.
Honestly, me neither. And I was around that stuff a lot with the trading card game league. I just knew I just grabbed the pack from the box.
Yeah, but we didn't realize this comes sealed together with other box. That never crossed my mind.
The odds and all of that.
Yeah, never crossed my mind.
Of a booster box.
That was secret information back in the day, because you couldn't just Google it. I'm saying, man.
That's true. Man,
it's a fun thing to be a part of, and that's kind of the community aspect of things is what really drew me back into it, full force, and made me want to be part of it in a bigger way than I was, versus just being part of someone else's channel, and then making me want to create my own channel. And I feel like that's what happens with a lot of people now, that they're like, man, this is so much fun, I love to see this, I want to be a part of this too. It's something that I tell everybody, hey, if you want to start a channel, go for it. It's fun. It might not be what you want to do. You'll do it a couple times, and then you'll figure out okay, maybe it's not for me, because you kind of, it's time consuming. It's there's a lot of effort that goes into it, and if you don't see the kind of if you don't get anything from it after, and you're not growing, whether it's subs or you're not seeing people hang out, it could be kind of something that turns into a mental health issue. You're damn, I'm looking at this and then nothing's happening, and it could affect you mentally. And I've been there before, especially when you first start a channel, you can just be looking at the numbers and just feel so defeated. So it can be a double-edged sword. It could be super, super amazing, or it could be bad at times too. So you always just got to go into it with the right mindset, and make sure you're doing it for yourself.
Yeah, and one of the things that I noticed that helps people gravitate towards your channel is going and commenting on some of their videos, or something that stands out that you like.
Right.
But actually commenting about it, not just I like that. If you comment it, you're that's the thing about the internet, right? You can't verbally tell it to someone's face, even though that's how you feel, right?
Yeah. And
so yeah, that's how I feel that the community started building, for sure. Just letting other folks know what your interests are, what's something positive that stood out to you for them.
Yeah.
And they'll start being more open with you, and they'll stop by and say what's up or something like that.
Yeah, and when they start to be more a part of that community, it's like when you open yourself up to like either in the stream, it's easier to do in stream versus a video because when you're doing it in a video, you're just trying to be
Yeah.
concise. You're trying to make sure you get the views. You're trying to entertain versus in the live stream,
Mhm.
you could kind of take moments to just talk about whatever, have fun. Last night in the stream, we ended and then an hour we were still going an hour later because we were just talking about reminiscing about stuff. You were in there for a little while. We were just talking about stuff in the early 2000s, 90s. We were talking about MP3 players for instance.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
those the moments that I feel like help build the like the community and make it stronger. It fortifies it, and people feel more included, and it feels like you're just hanging out with your friends and being part of something.
Yeah, absolutely. And you start to see like, wow, we have more in common than we thought,
Right.
like I went through that experience, I used to rock Air Force Ones back in the 2000s, like all day, every day.
Yeah, man.
We used to bump Nelly back in the
Especially
day.
when Nelly dropped that, everybody was like, "Ooh."
Yeah, or when he dropped Hot in Her, that was the jam on the dance floor, like for many, many years. Still is, honestly. They still bang that song in the club, and it
they'll
still
play
slaps.
it. They'll still play it,
And it still
and it
slaps.
works the same. It works the same.
Yeah, that's that timeless music right there.
Yeah, undefeated.
Yeah.
So and I feel like we've been around the community for a decent amount of time. I'm not gonna say we're like OGs because there's people doing it before us, and we
Yeah.
kind of came in like that. I feel like it's kind of like that second wave of creators, at least the ones that we know, and then we've been around for the longest time. Because I feel like Pokeball Mike was like in there like a little bit before us, and Rev really started that whole trend of streaming and doing the openings the way he has done the openings, and that's branched out to so many like every other channel ever. And then we came in and we've been around the community for a long time, and we've seen a ton of amazing things happen, but we also seen a ton of like negative and things, scummy things, bad things happen. And I feel like that has continued to come to the forefront of like the Pokemon content side of things as of late. We see people, I think, with the whole Elon Musk situation that happened. Obviously, that was like one of the biggest things as of late.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've never.
The biggest probably still, right?
I don't think anybody's ever really talked about it on a channel. Like, I think I kind of touched on it a little bit during the live stream that I had on my other channel, but never really gotten into anything about it. And even the channels that build their reputations on talking about the negative side of things, they never really went in on it. And I feel like out of all things, that was something that was really a big deal. And I don't know, like I don't think I ever saw you too much in there, if anything, but I mean, I'm sure you're aware of everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I am aware, and I've been in the Discord. I stopped paying attention to it maybe a few months ago.
Yeah.
But I know it's still ongoing, and I know one of the people that's taken the charge has been Dan Wiseman.
Absolutely.
And we're happy that he's in our community and that he's trying to take the lead in this and trying to help everybody either get their money back or get their slabs back or get something back from the whole messy situation. So and that's an example of like the community coming together.
Yeah.
Right. A positive example of the community coming together as a result of something negative. And it's unfortunate that we're seeing a lot of those things starting to happen now, where folks are like just running away with other people's money or not fulfilling orders or just plain disappearing. That'd probably be in the ugly, honestly.
Yeah.
You probably put that in the ugly category.
Yeah, man. And it puts like, because for instance, like my channel, that's, it obviously didn't start off as rip and ship and doing like the orders and stuff like that, but it kind of, progressed and turned into that. So like on my side, like I've always felt like, all right, I shouldn't talk negative or talk about too much of the negativity, because I feel like I come off as like I'm just trying to attack other people. Oh, and like, oh, come to my channel instead, because I'm not doing that or anything. So I'm like, all right, let's just stick on the positive side, not say too much, because I feel like I'm in a very precarious position with not wanting to like I said,
Well, you're dealing with people's
influence.
money.
Yeah, dealing with people's money, obviously. It's just making sure that we do this right, do this properly. If there's ever like an issue, like that's one of the messages that I always like make sure I respond to right away. Like, okay, what's the issue? How can we fix this? How can we resolve this? All right, do I need to refund you something? Do I need to send you some extra hits? What do I need to do? Because at the end of the day, all I want to do is try to make people happy and make it a good place to be. So it's more and more difficult every time that someone else messes up or just disappears, and I'm like, well, that's the stigma that goes along with what we do in the space. And there was a time that I was kind of like, man, when I do raids, do I send people off to this other person that is selling cards, not knowing what his reputation is or what he's about? So I battled with that for a little while.
That's a good reason.
Because I'm sending the people over there, and I battled with it for a while, and I came to the conclusion, like, before I send people off to the raid, and I know that they are, they're a seller that I'm sending off to, like, hey, go over there, show some support, hang out if you can. If you can't, no worries. So I'm like, I never want to influence anybody to, go over there and buy something, but, check them out and see what their channel's about. And then you make your own judgment based off what you see. So I feel like people, I feel like that's what I kind of came to the conclusion of, so I'll send the raid and make sure that people, go support. You don't necessarily have to buy anything, but, go show some love. That's kind of what we want, because we can't say that it's a positive community without trying to support somebody. But obviously, if somebody has been known to be not so good, then we kind of just I'm going to stay away from that channel. Has there ever been like talking about the bad as of late, do you feel like there's anything on your mind that comes to mind right away?
I mean, yeah, you bring up a good point in terms of the raids, and considering like who you're raiding, because some people that do live stream are not good people. Yeah. I'm gonna put it out there right now. They do the same things we do. They sell the packs. They may like Pokemon. They may or may not like Pokemon, but they and you can see it in their live stream. They either don't do good things on the live stream, such as maybe you see them hit somebody on live stream, or maybe you see some sort of like you actually hear that person like being vulgar to somebody else in the live stream, or in real life, like within that live stream, like in person, watching maybe two people in that live stream, and they're ripping packs together or something like that, and they start becoming real violent towards each other. Like we don't want to send our people towards that kind of energy or towards that kind of space. We want to send our people towards positive folks, folks that we know that aren't going to take advantage of our community members, folks that we know that we can trust, that we can meet in person and actually maybe hang around with. But it's it does take some it's like a background check. You got to do like a background check before you raid anybody, just to make sure that that you're sending them in a positive space.
And that's kind of why, like, the only time I take suggestions really on who to raid, and if it's a new person I don't know, is if it's a moderator of mine. Like, okay, I'll trust their judgment. We'll send people over there. I'll hang out in there for the first time to see what's going on. You're like, okay, this person's chill. But if like it's not a moderator and they're suggesting someone and I don't know them, I don't know if this is a bad thing or not, but like I kind of have a hesitation in sending whoever I have in my channel over to them. Not because I want to keep a small channel down, because we're all small. I always say this, in the grand scheme of things on YouTube, we're all still small channels. Doesn't even matter. I don't care. But you know, I remember having like 600 subs, you know, and I remember like, oh, when I got my first raid, I was like, bro, this is amazing. Like somebody took a chance on me, you know. So in my it plays in my head over and over again, like, am I being an asshole because I'm not rating this person, or but at the end of the day, I'm like, all right, I just want to take care of like the community that we've built here, and you know, look out for them, you know, versus that, you know, I don't care if I'm being an asshole most of the time, but it's just kind of like it plays back and forth in my head. It's like the angel on one side and the devil on the other side.
Yeah. Well, one thing that helps with that is being transparent with your moderators. You know, if you let all your moderators know, all right, mods, like, when it comes to rating, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, you know, a channel that doesn't curse. I'm looking for a channel that may or may not curse, or it doesn't matter to you. I'm looking for a channel that that doesn't have any issues with anybody in the community. I'm looking for a channel that that obviously doesn't take advantage of their customers when it comes to pricing.
Yeah.
Because we all have, well, us as YouTube live streamers have an awareness of what the pricing on certain products should be.
Yeah.
So that's why we come in as YouTube live streamers to try to help folks who are supporting and watching us, to guide them into people who have similar values and maybe similar prices, just like us.
Yeah. That's like one of the things
so
too.
Being transparent with the mods, letting them know that, okay, these are my requirements.
Yeah.
And then
that's something I should do too.
And see who you find.
Because I don't do that. Like, I don't necessarily do that. Like my moderators, you know, I trust their judgment and everything, but I never had like a prerequisite. I've never told them a prerequisite on like what I need to see in order to rate somebody. I don't know if I will or not either, but it's just, you know, something in the back of my head too that I just think about, and I'm wondering like, all right, is this, you know, should we go over here? Should we go there? Should we go there? But overall, for the most part, you know, there's like so much more positive from the people that, you know, that are in the community than negative. But it's not to say that the negative can't get pointed out and talked about at times. You know, we know like Rattle has his channel that, you know, he'll point out the negative. You know, Opossum has a channel, he'll point out the negative, and it's like another double-edged sword. I know people are like, they're two polarizing people in the space, but you know, I've always felt like it's, you know, necessary to an extent. You know, and they put themselves out there just as much as anybody, you know, because, you know, when you come with that type of, you know, channel, you put yourself out there for the most criticism, you know, so they always have to be, at least most of the time, they always have to be on point and be ready to, you know, be saying like, oh yeah, I messed up on this. As long as the accountability is there, you know, that's when I understand, like, okay, yeah, you know, they messed up on this and they said it, I messed up, you know, okay, cool. At least you're able to take responsibility. Whereas, you know, streamers that do the openings, that is like such a difficult thing for people to do, you know, take the accountability. Like, hey, like I was called out on this, I'm gonna double down and be like, nah, I didn't do that. It's just, bro, like, I messed up. I apologize. Let me make this right. How can I help this community to make things right?
Right. And, you know, right now it's really tough. It's really tough because a lot of folks are leaving the community because they were either scalpers, or because the money's not there anymore. Or folks were just in it for the money. Yeah. You know, and we see a lot of those folks now leaving the hobby. And unfortunately, there's a couple folks like Elon Musk that left in the way that they did. You know, taking advantage of folks. There's within this month, there's been a lot of like stuff, a lot of people being caught up for stuff like that. Like, removing packs off the screen. When it comes to, especially when it comes to vintage packs. Like Team Rocket. There was like an example of somebody who opened up a Team Rocket booster, was opening a Team Rocket booster box on Whatnot, of course, out of all places.
Yeah.
And they removed a pack off the screen for a few seconds and then brought the pack back and
Yeah.
then opened it up. And then there was nothing in there.
Yeah.
And apparently, from that booster box, there were only 11 hollows that came out, two non-hollow Dark Charizards and one Dark Blastoise. And
Mhm.
when they asked to see the back of the card of the Dark Blastoise, um, the Whatnot streamer just ignored them, like as if they didn't see their comment.
Right.
And when they pointed it out to the mods, the moderators were kind of clowning on them, on that person, saying, "Oh, what are you talking about?" Or, "Oh,
Yeah.
it's fine. It's a PSA 10 Dark Blastoise. That's what it
Yeah.
looks like to me."
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So yeah, like we're seeing a lot of folks like taking advantage of the community recently, like in that type of way. I've seen another example of another person, and this is bad. This is bad. I've seen another example of another person. They have like a hitbox, right?
Yeah.
And within that hitbox, um, you can pull certain prizes. And what this person does is that they get an energy card. They put a piece of blue tape over whatever the prize is. They write the prize on the card, and then they
Mm.
put a piece of blue tape over it so
Uh-huh.
that they can reveal on the stream what the prize is.
Uh-huh.
Makes it more mysterious, whatever.
Yeah.
Which is true. And then they what they did was when the person actually pulled that card from the hitbox, they removed it off screen with their right hand,
Mm.
and then for a few seconds, and then it reappeared from the left hand.
Hmm.
So it's like
They switching
off
it out.
screen. What are you doing? Like, are you going like this,
Yeah.
and then like that?
Yeah.
And what the crazy thing about that too is when he showed the pack back on the screen, it was one of those blister packs, Obsidian Flame blister pack,
Interesting.
single. The flap, it just lifted like so easily. Um,
Interesting.
so so we have and these are folks, these are Whatnot streamers that have like 1.7K followers, that have 5-star reviews, that
Yeah.
have it's that it seems like they're very credible people,
Right.
considering like some of them have 7K followers,
Yeah.
that seem legit with still 4.9 ratings, um, over 100 reviews, and these things are happening. These things are happening to people. They're being ripped off in these ways
Yeah.
because folks are just not the money isn't really there in terms of selling, like especially Scarlet and Violet, like
Yeah.
the Scarlet and Violet line.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because I told Fella Chris and I were waiting at our local card shop for Obsidian Flames release day,
Mm-hmm.
pre-release. And I was just telling Fella Chris, like, bro, I've just been seeing a lot of people just like leave the community or not streaming as much lately. And I see the prices of the cards, and we're
It goes
about to
hand in
see
hand.
a big drop of a lot of people leaving the community.
Mm.
And then sure enough, like, during the summer, a lot of people weren't streaming as much, or near the end of the summer, people weren't streaming as much anymore.
Right.
Even up to now, like there's some people that are starting to like bounce back, but not streaming as often anymore, including your boy. Your
Yeah.
boy here now is live streaming only once a week, whereas once we got monetized, we were live streaming about like twice a week, something
Yeah.
like that.
But
So
for yours, it was more of a personal thing because you were working on, this the job that you just got. So that's like there's people got different stories and different things
That's
to
right.
go along with it too. So it's not necessarily because the Scarlet and Violet isn't doing as well as Sword and Shield was. It's more so your personal stuff you got
Yeah,
going on.
that's so true. And it's crazy because if you consider like the last 3 years, so many people have gone through so many job changes.
Yeah.
Like just about every single person that I meet has had a different job change in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Like literally everybody. And yeah, there's it's not the economy's not looking good either. It's really
Yeah.
bad right now as well. So
Yeah.
for sure, that's also impacting like Pokemon,
No,
for
yeah.
sure, because people don't have that money to spend like that anymore. And then more people are going outdoors now.
Yeah.
A lot more, like for example, where I teach at, they barely gave all the professors um, access to use money so that they can travel again because that
Nice.
money got frozen up because of COVID
That's
because
crazy. Still.
they didn't want people to travel. Yeah,
That's
still there's still
crazy.
some yeah, in some places, yeah, there's still the COVID laws are still like in effect. So yeah, I feel like because of
I just stay in the house.
uh
I don't know.
because of yeah, just because a lot of those type of negative things have been happening and because I feel yeah, like the people aren't making as much money like they
Mhm.
were during the pandemic. um
Yeah,
and
I mean, I
it's
feel like a lot of
unfortunate.
people call that too. I know, like,
Yeah.
whatever you guys feel on like Rattle or Opossum, I feel like they called it a little while ago too, and they're like, there's gonna be a lot of people leaving the hobby, during Scarlet and Violet, after we saw what the prices were like, and people always ask me, how do you feel about Scarlet and Violet? And I'm like, I say the same thing. All right, it's a fun set to open up. The pricing isn't there, but it's still a fun set to open up because you get hits. It's fun to see the hits, and that's always been one of the biggest reasons you open up packs. And I know a lot of people, they want to see that value in there, and it does take away some fun aspect of it too. And I've said that before too. I would like there to be at least one big chase to go after in there to have fun with it. And I feel like Paldea, out of all the sets so far, has been one of those fun sets because it took forever to pull the Iono for us on the channel right here. And I think there's so many good hits in that set. And I don't understand why it's slept on, or, why people don't like it, or just, the Scarlet and Violet base sets notoriously not that great. Paldea, I think, was, a big, huge step up. And I'm confused as to why people just don't like it, didn't like it too much.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I liked it. I liked the Tyranitar. I liked the Sleepy Raichu, right?
Yeah. CB
That's in there.
Raichu.
What else is in there?
We obviously we
Mm,
got the Iono, we got the Chimpao, the Wu Chin, all those new like legendaries that were in there too.
yeah,
We also had,
Kinpao and Wuchin were cool. Those were cool, but
yeah.
yeah,
But it's also because they're new Pokemon.
yeah,
They're new
that's what it
Pokemon.
is. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
It,
Um,
people, I think King Scratch just said it. People, it was cool to hate on it, and people kind of rode that way because it's the mob mentality. Once you see like these big influencers saying like, oh, it's a whatever set, it's not that great, then you kind of just like, oh, I'm programmed to think that that's a whatever set. Paldea Evolved is a fun set to open. I love whenever we have Paldea Evolved. I think I'll get some more Paldea Evolved because it's a fun set to open, and it still
yeah.
is. And then,
Sometimes we don't think about how much power and influence we have as
yeah,
live streamers.
yeah,
Because yeah, we could easily say like, oh yeah, this set sucks, or
yeah,
it's not really that good, and it doesn't look good for Pokemon either. I came across some interesting information today about how Epic Games, the owner of Fortnite,
uh-huh,
how they released they're letting go of like hundreds and hundreds of employees, because they say they can't pay them anymore. Their argument was that at the moment they're losing more money than they're actually making,
yeah,
and that they had to let go like 2/3 of the there's this game called Fall Guys. It was really big and popular when it first came out, but
fell off.
apparently it's not anymore. And
Yeah,
then I'm sure the mismanagement of money by Epic Games, whatever. But one of their quotes, or one of the things that they said,
mm,
was that they wouldn't be running if it weren't for the influencers.
Damn. Yeah, especially with the game on the gaming side, like that is. If you would have told me 20 years ago that there could be a job opportunity in playing video games the way there actually is right now, it would have been. I would have been like, shut the hell up. I'm just.
Yeah.
Hold on. I was out here just playing Crash Bandicoot 1 on the PS1. Like, no way, this is gonna be something.
Oh yeah,
20 years
I
ago,
love that game,
dude.
Love that game.
Or even early on with like Xbox 360, like, nah, that's not happening. And we live in a society now that's like so built on trends. Like, what's the latest trend? Let's move on to the next one. All right, that happened. Let's move on to the next one, the next one. So, Fortnite has stuck around. Pokemon has, had its resurgence and is kind of even out to where it's going to, be about. And I think a lot of people always say this, 151, they were so hyped for it. I was underwhelmed for the English version for a little while, just because so much of the Japanese had been open and there was such a big gap in between the Japanese release and the English release. Then we saw that there was some mini God packs in there, right? And then I was like, oh, that kind of sparks my interest again, Let's have some fun with this set. And the fact that it's the 151 is nostalgic. People are going to love it regardless. But Pokemon understands that. They know where to place these sets. They've, in order to bring some hype back into to the hobby. And, whether you guys like it or not, a little bit of hype within the hobby, I think, is a good thing to keep people interested, to let people have fun. When it's super overvalued, like priced, like when the pandemic was going around, that's a different story. That's not necessarily great things. That's something that cannot be sustainable within the market. So, but I think, well-placed sets like that is a good thing. I enjoy that they go back to the 151. A lot of people hate the fact that they always rely on the original Pokemon, but because I guess I'm a original Pokemon person, like, I don't care. I enjoy it. I hope they give Gen 2 some love.
Me too. I mean, us as influencers, look at our age, right? And look at the age range of our viewers as well. Like, for example, the age range of my viewers are like 24 to 35. Like 38 or something like that. Yeah. In the late 30s. And so, like, when you're looking at, like, well, okay, who's buying the Pokemon product?
Yeah.
It's people our age, because we've reached that point where we have that more of the spending money.
Yeah.
We're spending it now on Pokemon because we were there, experienced that as kids, and the nostalgia. So there's the connection to that right there. But we're the ones, the age range of who's spending the money on Pokemon is this range right here. So why not target the favorite Pokemon of this age range right here,
Yeah.
And then the kids love Pokemon. It seems like it's not the kids that are complaining about the 151. It's the adult.
Yeah. Yeah. No, the kids.
Yeah.
Although when we were at car party, I saw some kids with some crazy collections. I'm like, where? Like, what? Like, how do you have all this? Like, what do your parents do? And are they looking for adopting 30-year-old people?
Yeah, bro, big facts,
dude. I was like, what's happening right here? Like, I remember when I was little, I'd be lucky to get a couple packs, here and there, every month. But these kids got binders full of like vintage to the newest alt arts. So it's like, it's crazy. It's dope to see though, because I've said this before. Although we're in here, doing the content creation, the influencing, it's kids a lot of times that are going to be viewing these videos at some point, and they are the people the kids that are going to like continue to carry on Pokemon as it goes forward. And I've seen people say like, oh, is Pokemon going to fall off? I'm like, bro, if Pokemon hasn't fallen off by now, they're not going to fall off. It's still going to be a thing. Whether or not people come and go, it's a different story. It's still going to be a thing.
Yeah, and I believe Pokemon is still like the number one franchise in the world.
The
Um,
specific
or
man, what's the
uh,
specific
yeah, there is.
yeah.
But they're number one,
Yeah.
and then number two, I believe, is Hello Kitty, and then number three is Disney, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and that's the other thing that I do kind of criticize Pokemon for because they're number one. They're number one, and the games look like shit. I'm just gonna throw it out there. They do, with the exception of Arceus, and even then, I feel like because they're number one, they should be
If
putting
they
more money and effort into it.
they're
But
getting lazy because they're number one with it. The
hey,
laziness.
yeah, yeah. But I guess if some ain't broke, don't fix it. I
Yeah.
guess, right? But
Yeah, I mean there was so much like negative. There was a lot more negative than positive when Scarlet and Violet came out. In the video games. I mean, whether it's glitches or just it just seemed like dull gameplay or the same mechanics. Arceus was probably above that because it kind of introduced for the first time the open world concept. Although I know it
Yep.
wasn't necessarily really open world. But yeah, they
Right.
got to do better. So if they remaster, dude, tell them to remaster the OG versions with an open world concept. Boom, they'd be set again for the next 20 years.
Honestly, that might happen because I remember what was the first set that came out with the alternate arts? Was it
Battle styles. Well,
Battle
if you
Styles?
go to Sun and Moon, if you go back to Sun and Moon, then that's a different story. But do you
Well,
mean
I
like in
guess
Sword and
Sword and
Shield?
Shield. I guess Sword and Shield.
Battle
Yeah,
styles with Sword and Shield.
Battle Style. So when that happened and I saw those alternate art cards, I was like, dude, I wish that Pokemon would do the original 150. But I was convinced. I was like, there's no way they're gonna do it because they're all focused on the new Pokemon
Right.
and doing that. So I was like, there's no way, dude. And then when this 151 was announced, I was hyped. As it's out right now, I'm still hyped. I feel a
Yeah.
lot of people are disappointed because the prices of the cards aren't up there and they keep going down. But like I said, like we are talking about, I love 151, the original 150 Pokemon were OG heads, and give it to me.
Yeah. Dude, we pulled 2 Charizards in one stream, or the stream before last night, and we pulled the Charizards from the SIRs, right?
Oh,
I was so hyped. I don't even like the way that Charizard looked, but I was still hyped. I can't. I
are you
talk so,
talking?
I talk
Are
so
you
much.
talking about this one?
Yeah, man.
Let
We
me
pulled
see.
2 of them in the same stream, and
Um, this is Mav HX. We ran a giveaway. Well, we
dog,
gave away the
yo,
ETB.
Mav gets
Mav
those giveaways.
HX.
He has a
Yeah.
giveaway here too that I still need to send out.
Mav, you're in the chat, legend.
Man, that's insane.
Yeah, but you got hyped, right? You got
Yeah,
excited because it's like,
yeah.
dude, it's the OG. It's a 150. Like,
It,
man, I know the names of all these Pokemon that I'm pulling right now, without
even
fail.
even when
Without fail.
even when we were opening up the Japanese, so like
Yeah, you were on it, right? You were on it.
dude,
Where'd you get? You were feeling like your
dude.
chest puffed
Well,
out a little bit when you were saying the names, right? Like,
I know what I'm saying this time.
Poppin'.
I know what I'm saying this time. Every now and
Dude,
then,
bro, I know you were feeling good because you even got the Eevee on point. Remember, you were like, "Ooh, I gotta get you. I got it."
dude. It was a lot of fun too.
Yeah,
And
man.
I think even though and it's just like we talked about when it's a new era of Pokemon, it's gonna take a minute to get familiar with it and have a love for it the way that we have a love for like the original Pokemon that we came up with, or even like Gen 2, Gen 3. I think when I was little, I fell off watching the cartoon, the anime at Gen 4. But even so, like Gen 6, 7, and 8, I've grown an appreciation for them over time and an enjoyment about them. So it does take a little bit of time, I think, for like a lot of people that have been in the hobby for a while, for like Gen 9 to really have a good effect on you. So when what was it? When base set came out, then Paldea, Obsidian Flame, and then 151, it was nice to get that like, I don't want to say breath of fresh air, but you being able to see it, see those original cards again, regardless of how you feel about it, it was a lot of fun. And when we had the Japanese set in here for the first time, and we opened it on the channel,
I was there. I got some packets.
I hadn't felt that way, dude. I don't think I gave them to you yet. I need to send that out to you, man. I'm sorry.
That's all right. We chill. We big chilling, man.
I think you have like 2 bags here, by the way.
Just hand them to me when we maybe do our collaboration live stream in December.
You got that Charizard. You got that Charizard, but not the big Charizard. But like just opening them up.
Yeah,
and seeing it, it was a different feeling versus the rest of the Scarlet and Violet sets.
Yeah, and when I live stream and I opened up 151 for the first time a couple days ago, I went and got my base set Charizard cards. I got my base set Zapdos. I got my base set. What else did I grab? Might have been Raichu.
Yeah.
The Raichu. I laid them out in the background, and I was excited, man, because I was just like, this is the OG 150, like this is for us right here, like us right here.
Yeah.
This is for us. Pokemon said this is for y'all.
Yeah.
Straight right here. And I was like, and that's why I'm so happy about this set,
Yeah.
I don't care what the prices are. I'm not whatever, like if anything, I'm happy about the single prices, because I can afford buying singles now. like dude, like the first week of Obsidian Flames, I was like Obsidian Flames booster box or buy the actual chase set card. They're both the same price.
Dude, it's a struggle, right? You're like, what do I do it? What do I do? What do I do?
Yeah, but I went with the packs because I was like, you know what? We're gonna give these packs away on the channel. We're gonna, or I think I actually sold the booster box so we can open some Obsidian Flames on the channel, for release week or whatever release day. But yeah, I don't mind the single prices. And Pokemon is even like thinking about us by sprinkling a little bit of base set here and there. For example, like the Sleepy Raichu.
Yeah.
Right. And even in this last set, Charizard. Right. Obviously. And there's another Pokemon.
It's the 151. Oh no, you mean Obsidian? You're talking about Obsidian.
Yeah. Oh, Cleffa. And Pokemon sneaks little things in there too. Like for example, Cleffa, the move that Cleffa uses on the card is the exact move that Cleffa used in Neo Gen.
Oh, okay. When it was just like it was sitting on the bed.
Yeah.
Wasn't that Cleffa card like OP back in the day too?
Yeah, it was, man. I have it in my decks actually because it's that OP. Yeah. So the move on Cleffa was like, back in the day, it was shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 7 cards. And now I think the new one is like something like draw 7 cards or something like that.
Yeah, it's cool, like to the little callbacks that they have too. Sometimes some people get them like, I didn't realize that either. But obviously, I didn't play the game back in the day like the way you did too. So it's something that you would be able to appreciate and hit different people on like that nostalgia level, like a different level of that nostalgia too.
Yeah, for real. Because I would study these cards back in the day because I was part of the trading card game league before as a gym leader and after as a gym leader. Because I used to read a lot as a kid. And I grew up by myself. I was a single child, so I had a lot of time to just read, and reading was one of the things I loved doing because it took me away from all the negative things that were happening in my life.
Yeah.
And that's why I read a lot of the Pokemon magazines, like Top Deck magazine. I had a lot of those, and I would read them. I would read them front to back. I would read the Pokemon cards, all of them. I used to none of my cards from back in the day are PSA 10 quality because I try to use all of them.
Yeah. We weren't thinking about that. I didn't even know what PSA was.
Yeah, no, man. I mean, remember, I think some people had Pokemon card fights, where they just throw the pack, right? Jay,
Yeah.
I think you and your fam, right?
Yeah.
Or your friends would do that, right?
Yeah, man. We'd just be doing some random things with the cards. We were trying to battle with them, but we didn't know what the hell we were doing. We were just making up our own rules.
We got to a point like, oh, let's use them like in real life. Go Charmander, you throw the card, right?
Those things took a beating. Took a beating. No sleeves
Yeah,
at all
yeah.
either. No sleeves at all.
That
Any.
no sleeves, yeah, no sleeves, no sleeves. I mean,
Dude.
I did have sleeves but only for the decks. I
Right.
didn't have sleeves for the other cards. I would put them into my binder,
Yeah.
but I would practice bad binder behavior.
Same. Same. And that
Yeah,
was the only type
you
of
know.
binder I feel like there was for. I didn't know
Yeah,
anything.
right?
I didn't know any better. Like, shoot.
Yeah,
I felt that like
yeah.
they were protected in there.
Yeah, and where I would go, it was in Santa Monica at the Toys R Us in Santa Monica. And one of the benefits of going to that Toys R Us in Santa Monica is that right there in the Santa Monica Mall, they also had a Wizards of the Coast store.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
When's the last time
and
Wizards of the Coast actually had a store? That must have gone down a while ago.
they're online now.
Yeah.
PokemonCenter.com.
Pokemon Center didn't even last in New York. That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, that was one of the benefits. So I remember sometimes if I had time, I right after the league, I'd head over to Wizards of the Coast. There'd be a couple folks from the trading card game league there, looking at like really they had a lot of Wizards of the Coast stuff. They had Wizards of the Coast. What is it? The other trading card game. They had some Yu-Gi-Oh. They had Pokemon, but
Okay.
Magic.
Magic. Oh, Magic. Yeah. Obviously
Yeah.
Magic.
Like that store, I feel like had more Magic than Pokemon
Got it.
every time.
But yeah, I think it took a while for Pokemon to overtake Magic. But it has, and it's still above it. And Magic is more of a player's trading card game versus a collector's trading card game too. Although there are some very, very expensive and sought after Magic the Gathering cards. I know that.
Like the One Ring.
The One Ring.
Yeah. Well, it's Post Malone's now. You seen that? He bought it.
2 mil?
He actually bought it.
Dude, you gotta
Yeah,
like
I
that.
saw the video
Why
of
not?
him handing it over to the other guy, to Post Malone.
Hearts of the
And then
Lotus,
making
yes, the
the deal.
Lotus too.
That's
I was
crazy.
trying to think of that card. Yeah, so I feel like we're talking about like a lot of things that make us happy within the hobby, and a lot of the good stuff that happens. We touched on some of the bad. It can be a difficult place to navigate, especially within the content creation side of things. The collecting side is fun. The collecting side is easy. And I feel like I haven't seen too much negativity until like as of late, like we said. And I feel like I'm on a different type of not pedestal, but like because I got to the rapid growth that we saw all of a sudden on the channel. I feel like okay, all of a sudden I'm pushed into a position of like not more people like looking at you and seeing what you're doing and how you operate, and trying to either emulate or to be part of it even more. And sometimes I see it and I'm like, it makes me happy. But then I see other people, they're like, oh man, why are you copying what I'm doing? And I'm like, bro, what does it matter? They're copying what you're doing because they enjoy what you're doing. They're trying to make it something about them. They're trying to change it and tweak it a little bit. I see a lot of that. I see a lot of nitpicking within like content creation and people to put it easy, getting butthurt about things.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because one of the things that I learned here in the academic world when it comes to like creating or publishing work is that you're always adding to the conversation. You're always you're a part of a conversation with somebody, with whoever those people that are creating those things are.
Yeah.
And then you're also trying to bring something new to the conversation, and that should be the same within Pokemon and content creation.
Yeah.
We should all be trying to like build each other up and help each other out by seeing what works, trying to apply that, and then trying to add something new on top of that.
Yeah.
And then, that's how you grow. That's how you grow within the community. That's how you grow like in the academic space. That's how you grow in life. You work with others, you build each other up,
Yep.
you share with each other what worked or what works for you. And then, that person adds something on top of that, something new, something
Absolutely, man.
different, or a different perspective or a different angle. But if you're not allowing yourself to allow others to build with you,
Mhm.
then you're gonna eventually get to a point where you're just gonna get stuck
And
because you got no growth going on around you, or
yeah,
nobody that's willing to help you with your growth because you're not willing to share what helped with your growth.
yeah, and I think I feel like I see it so much, and not from like I don't think I see it from too much of the content creators that like we came up with by any means, but I feel like if like you're a newer content creator, that's something that you have to understand and take it into consideration. Like it's fine if people are like seeing what you're doing and like doing what you're doing, and they're building upon it. That's what it's about, making strides and helping everybody kind of win in a certain way. And if you feel like you are being held back by some, then switch it up, try something different, have fun with it. Once you lose the fun about it, that's when it kind of starts to you know be unenjoyable. And you're the people around you tend to trickle off, because like, oh, if this person's not even having fun on his own thing, why the hell am I here?
Yeah, and if you think that someone is like copying you or something like that, like you honestly should be honored that they found something that they like about you
Yeah,
and that they're trying to add to their own channel to
yeah,
see if it works or not. Like straight up, it should be all love and it shouldn't be any hate,
yeah.
and at some point you're gonna stop growing because that's how you think,
Yeah, it's that
you know?
mindset, man. It's always the mindset.
Yeah. It's
Um,
your own mindset. You
mhm,
you help you hold yourself back, like
yeah,
you're your worst enemy when it comes to live streaming, or you're your own worst rival when it comes to live streaming because
and
you're
so,
trying to compete with somebody else.
and sometimes what I see is like the best thing when that happens. The best thing to do is kind of just to step away, and get a broader picture of everything first. Step away. Take a week off, take 2 weeks off, whatever you got to do. Sometimes stepping away for a little bit is what you really need, or being able to have someone that you can speak to candidly about these conversations. Like, I mean, I can speak to you. I know, like, if I'm ever feeling a certain type of way, I can like hit up Dub and be like, hey man, like, what are you seeing with this? Because although he's not active in chat, I know he still watches it, and I know he's still in there. Um, and like, what are you seeing? Like, is there something I'm doing wrong? He's like, no, man, like you're doing great. Like, it's just there's certain times that it just doesn't work. And you're like, okay, cool. Like, I feel a lot better about it. Let me keep doing what I'm doing. So honestly, having someone in the space that could kind of be able to speak to you in that way is a major key. And you yourself have to be able to be humble about it. You have to be humble about it and be able to accept criticism and understand that it's not coming from a negative place. It's coming from a place of appreciation. It's coming from a place of, this person really wants you to succeed. He wants you to succeed in what you're doing. And just listen, have an open ear. And it's very difficult to have an open ear, I feel like, in this day and age.
Hmm. And something that now as a professor that I tell my students is that now that you're here and you're freshmen, you need to make friends here on campus. You need to establish relationships. You need to join a club so that
Mm,
you can find people with similar interests,
yeah,
so that they can help you get to your degree and to your career job.
yeah,
And it's the same thing here with Pokemon. You got to find people that support you and that won't judge you and that will lend you an ear, and somebody that you can trust,
yeah,
because there are gonna be hard times
hmm,
where you're not gonna know whether the intentions of certain people are good or whether their intentions are bad. You just need a mirror to bounce off some ideas or thoughts.
Mm.
And that's with every great writer. Every great writer always shares their work with like three or four people before they
Yeah.
actually publish it, so that it can get some feedback, get some perspective on it. And it's the same thing here. I think it was like Team Pocket or somebody that was saying like you got to find like five people and try to work with those five people,
Yeah.
to try to support each other
Yeah.
with those five people, and
Yeah.
you'll get through those hard times when they happen.
Right.
And I vouch for that. Like same with you, Jay. I've had you to help me out, to hear me out, bounce some ideas and stuff like that, and a couple other folks as well. So, and that helps you get through, like, through tough times when you feel like, oh, maybe this isn't working out for you, or maybe you feel like people are saying negative things about you. You just gotta you need somebody to reflect with, to bounce
Yeah.
those ideas with, like, was I really an asshole like this, or did I really come off like as condescending like that?
Yeah.
And you gotta have somebody that'll give you
Yeah.
honest feedback, not feedback because they really like you, or they find you attractive or something like that. Like, but honest feedback, like, hey, Jay, you fucked up,
Yeah.
like, or Jay, I don't think that was cool how you said that, like, I could see how they can get offended.
Yeah.
So honest feedback from
Yeah.
people, not because and I think this is one of the things that Pokeballer Mike was addressing on when you interviewed him,
Mhm.
about how he wants people to not see him as like this big YouTube personality, and not tell him the truth about things, and to
Yeah.
always agree with him about everything.
Yeah.
He wants people to, like, tell him if he's wrong about something,
Right.
or if he messed up something up, to tell him about it,
Yeah.
and not just tell him, oh, it's okay. Oh, yeah, you did good. Like, yeah, and you'll do better next time.
Yeah.
It's like,
Absolutely, man.
no,
It's tough to find those type of people. It's very
it,
difficult to find those type of people. And it's, like I touched on
that,
a little bit before, it's tough to find those people, and it's even tougher to distinguish if those are like if those are people you can trust. And I feel, and it sucks to say that too, but I feel like there's so many people that are, they have their own motives in mind, and they don't truly like want you to succeed. And that's why I always try to say, like, bro, like, if you grow, if this other person grows, they grow the hobby even more. There's more stuff. There's a lot more people out there. Like, just because they're growing it's not hindering your growth. You're the only one hindering your growth.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, everyone's trying to grow, and everyone's hurting as well. Like, during these times when it comes to views or likes, or people showing up to your live streams, or people maybe not buying as much from your store as they used to. Like, everybody's going through this, and having that one person or a couple people that you can talk to about, how they're doing and how their channel is going, and then you could
Yeah.
see, oh, okay, I'm not the only one that's going through this downturn. Like, there's other people too that are
Yeah.
going through similar things as well. Okay, I don't feel so bad now. I'll try to keep grinding through, just like everyone else is,
Yeah.
just like Jay is, just like Broly is, just like Dark Echo Gaming is. Like, right now, he's live streaming,
Yeah.
and he stays consistent with his live streams as well. So it's those are like the folks that I chose for myself to, like, surround myself with, that I feel that
Mhm.
I can, like, just talk to and bounce ideas off. And
Yeah.
and it's hard, like you said, it's hard to find good people. It really is, because one of the things that helps is knowing, like, what they do for a living, or what they've done in terms of work. Do they do a lot of community work? Do they do a lot of just construction stuff? Do they do a lot of have they do some people, you'd be surprised, like, what they like what they do, how generous they are with their free time, like the positive things that they do in the community.
Yeah.
And if you see people that go out of their way to help others, that's a big good indicator that those are some good people right there.
Yeah.
Because people that speak up about the good and the bad, especially about the bad, like it takes a lot of guts.
Yeah.
It does take a lot of guts, and you got to respect that. But
Especially
those are like,
when you're trashing the type of channels that you actually have yourself too. Like I'm saying, like the Rip and Ship game is a very it can be a very, very grimy place, especially on Whatnot, but even on the YouTube side of things too, it can be a very, very grimy place. And again, we touched on it a little bit, saying how I had a difficult time sending people for a while, like to other newer people that are coming into the space, doing Rip and Ship, when I had no previous knowledge of how they are, who they are. So it can be a tough place to navigate. It really can be.
yeah, and when now that I've been using a lot more of the redirect,
Mm-hmm.
I think since the summer, or actually probably since maybe before the summer, a little
Yeah.
bit before the summer, I started using the redirect. Um, and when I look for people, I usually tend to send folks towards people that I know,
Yeah.
that I've hung out in their live streams before, and I kind of understand how their personality is and stuff
Right.
like that. And as of now, I'll be honest, as of now, that's how I've been conducting my raids.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've gone and raided somebody that I don't follow.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the difference. I'm still rating folks that maybe I haven't rated before,
Yeah.
because there's been some new channels that have been coming up
Yeah.
in the community, such as Pidgey Boys.
Yeah.
Bay Showcase is another folks that just started their channels, and they're growing.
Yeah.
And so, since I'm always now in their live stream,
Yeah.
but I haven't had a chance to raid them. I feel like I have now, but that's just an example of new channels that started up, and that, okay, I've been in your live streams. I know you guys. I know y'all are cool. I met you in real life at Card Party.
Yeah.
So I feel comfortable sending a raid your way. I haven't
Yeah.
raided you before. Let me go do that.
Yeah.
So,
It's understandable. I get that. I think I've done that before too, where I'm like, honestly, I don't know you. Like, I kind of want to get to a place where, like, okay, like I see you. You're like, okay, it's cool. And like I said, the only time I kind of really make that exception is if a moderator in my chat says, like, hey, go check this person out, because I was in there the other day and, like, they got good vibes, because I trust my moderators to give me that good tip. Pause.
Daddy, chill.
trust y'all. You trust you, Hero Norvillain.
Hero Norvillain here. What's going on? Hey, thank you everybody for being in here. We gotta
Shout out
pause
to
on
Hero
that.
Norvillain, dude. What
Hey,
an
man.
amazing art piece he sent you, dude.
Dude, that was awesome,
Wow.
man. Dude,
Yeah.
I was blown away, man. I was like, I think I said it already, but I showed my wife after. She's like, why the hell people send you things? I'm like, I don't know. But appreciate you, Hero Norvillain. Thanks for being in here. Everybody in here,
You
hanging
got
out.
love in the community, man.
Man.
Like that.
Yeah.
Even though he sent you an art piece about Pokemon, like it's deeper than that.
Yeah.
At least to me,
Yeah,
that's
man.
how I see it.
It means that much more, because he's someone that put that effort, that time. I know that didn't just happen in 5 minutes. I know that just didn't happen in one
Yeah.
day. It took
Mhm.
multiple days. I don't know how many days. It took multiple days. And I've always told him, like, hey man, do something with that art. Like I think I remember seeing his art for the first time. He made like a Mewtwo. He drew like a Mewtwo, and I was like, bro, like, do something with this. That's sick. Like, go for it. So I can appreciate the fact that he sent me over something like that, put that time, that effort in there. So I appreciate you, Hero. Love this collaboration, said Jose. Hey, Jose, thanks for being in here. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's gonna be different trying to grow this channel versus a Pokemon opening channel. Now everybody that came over from the Jay's Corner TCG channel, and you guys are in here now, like truly, thank you all so much. You know, we'll see how we run this. We'll probably add more podcasts in here, and I'm gonna try to do my best to see how I can like manage doing both channels, but I feel like I needed to separate it in order to, you know, keep the vibe the same for Jay's Corner TCG versus the Collector podcast over here. Yeah, I feel like that might have not just worked in the long run. So I'm like, all right, let me just separate it now, start from scratch, and just try it. Just try it.
Yeah, man. And you know, same with me too. I stopped posting Fortnite clips. Originally, I wanted to split the channel as well. From just keep it strictly Pokemon and then have a separate channel for Fortnite.
Yeah.
But I have found myself, because of this job, I have found myself playing less and less video games and putting more of my effort into my career job. So at the moment, the Fortnite is just disabled. Let's just say that. It's just disabled at the moment, and I'm okay with that. Because, you know, I'm happy in the place where I'm at right now in terms of my career, and even in my life as well. I feel like a lot of things are starting to be much better.
Come full circle for you.
Yeah, kind of like a full circle moment, and then still trying to figure out like where the Pokemon channel really fits and everything, you know.
Yeah.
But I know I got a lot of support here.
Man, you almost at 2K. I've seen that.
Yeah, I'm almost at 2K. I've been quiet about it, but yeah, it's already.
It was sneaky. I looked at it, I was like, "Ooh, he right there."
Yeah.
If you guys aren't subbed to Get You, make sure you sub to him right now. I know most of you guys should be. If you're not already, make sure you sub to my man Get You, of course. And Get You, we got a couple of questions right here in the Q&A we can kind of talk about. So we got 3 of them right here. So if you guys are interested in asking us anything in that Q&A,
those Q&As, y'all.
Let us know. Dizzy was in here earlier on saying, Jay, is that you in the ski mask in the thumbnail? Nah, Dizzy, that's just off of Google. That's off of Google. I wasn't sure what to do with the thumbnail. I was like, all right, how do I run these thumbnails?
I like how you did this one. The good, the bad, the ugly, because when you look at the thumbnail, you know exactly what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah. And, you know, I would have just put our faces on there too, but I was like, nah, nobody, you know, I was like, all right, let's just give the people what the topic is going to be about. We don't need our faces on there, you know? So it's like, all right, so it's going to run right there. So yeah, it was cool. I was like, it took me a while to figure out like, how am I going to run these new podcast thumbnails? I'm not sure how I'll do it in the future. It might be different every single time. But we'll see how it goes. But Dizzy, no.
Well, you're going to have different topics as well.
Right. So I'm just thinking about it. Like, are they going to be is the thumbnail going to be about the concept of the actual podcast? Or is the thumbnail going to be about the people in the podcast? And honestly, it might just vary on the creator. You know, a different creator. You know, maybe we'll have our faces on there. If it's another creator, we might not have our faces on there. You know, so we'll see. It may vary. I'm not sure. Here in our villain said Van Gogh. I mean, I didn't get a Van Gogh Pikachu today. Did you?
Oh, dude, we didn't even talk about that, huh?
That's the ugly. That's the ugly right there.
We'll put that in the ugly category for sure.
Dude, you see the video? Sure. The people going crazy?
Shame. Yes, I did, dude. Shame on everybody in that video right there. And shame on Pokemon, too, for not having an organized event, a more organized event to distribute those out.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't Black Friday, you know, where you just drop the pallet and then everyone just goes for it, which is what happened right there.
That was...
You know, like, come on. Once again, number one, right?
Yeah,
number one.
Everybody, the people in that, like the museum, got to do better. Pokemon has to do better about having that organized. It's crazy, but I know it's tough in like retail because I've worked retail before. It's tough to have the extra manpower to be able to navigate something like that and be able to, control that type of crowd. Because like once they're in the store, the employees just want to get the hell out the way. They don't get paid enough to be able to,
unless they have some sort of ticket system.
Yeah, yeah. They don't get paid enough to be able to control that type of mob mentality once everybody's in there.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I don't think the museum employees were probably expecting that type of mob mentality, because who does that in the museum?
Yeah. Making every Pokemon fan look bad.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that was definitely the ugly. There were no children in sight.
It's all bad.
Maybe that was a good thing for their safety.
Yeah.
And then the whole fear of missing out, the FOMO. Those cards were selling for like $300-$400 yesterday, I think.
They're down to about $80 now. I know Pokemon Center has said that they've sold out of like the Van Gogh merchandise.
They're gonna have more.
Well, they didn't say that. I don't think they said they're gonna have more, but they're finding a different way in order to get those more Pikachu promos out to more people. That's for sure what they said. I didn't see this say that they're gonna have more Van Gogh merchandise, but they're gonna find a way to get more of the promos out.
The cards, yes.
Yeah.
Specifically the cards.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I did try. I tried to get some of the deck boxes because I thought the Pikachu one was dope. I actually tried to get the Snorlax sleeves as well too, but it was all gone by the time.
Dang.
Yeah.
I slept on that for sure.
Yeah.
I slept on it.
So if you guys
couldn't even like click on any merchandise because I couldn't even see it.
No?
I couldn't even click in that area. No.
If you guys are in chat and you're able to get a promo yourself, let me know. I know Clampy said he was able to. Going on, Kangaskranz in here says, what about Disney Lorcana? With people leaving the TCG hobby in general, it seems like demand is still pretty prevalent. Product is so hard to find. It's so fun to play. Did I have a question? So kind of talking about Disney Lorcana. Did you ever open any? Have you got any?
No, I'm not a big fan of the Disney company or franchise or whatever they call themselves. So
you're like, nah, it's not for me.
So it's not for me. Yeah.
He said, I'm gonna leave it at that.
I will admit some cards do look cool, but it's not for me. It's not for the channel.
Yeah. And I think for me, if I was able to like find some at the regular MSRP price, I might have opened it up. I don't necessarily think I would have sold it on the channel, but I might have opened it up because I myself, like, I enjoy like the Disney stuff. And, my wife does too. So it would have been fun to do it. They're all recognizable characters, even if you're not into Disney, like for the most part, who the hell these characters are.
I watched all those movies.
Yeah.
I had them on VHS, on the white VHS plastic, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I used to watch those a lot. All of them too.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have them, then we'd watch them on the TV.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've still yet to see any type of Disney Lorcana in store or available anywhere, at least in my area. So I mean, I
haven't seen any in store. No,
I don't even know if it's real or not.
It does sell out quick. People do line up for it.
Yeah, I
remember at my local card store, I went to go buy some Pokemon right when they opened, and there was a big ass line. And so I just waited in the line. I was like, oh, shit, all right, but big line today. And then I waited in the line, and then they opened the store, and they usually they'll let people go in one by one, but he just took a look at the line, wasn't that big, and he's like, all right, everybody come in.
Yeah.
So I just walked in, and then I was the only one that like walked to the side and was like looking at the Pokemon wall, and then everybody else was just waiting for their pre-orders of the Disney. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, this Disney dropped today, and they're like, oh yeah, Disney dropped today.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, that's what's up.
Yeah, I mean, for me, if I'm able to find it, I'll get some and I'll open it, and have fun with it because I mean, I enjoyed the cards, like for me, but. Like I said, whether or not like I would ever be able to stock it, a lot of TCGs, the only other TCG I ever put on the website was Dragon Ball Super. And that's because like I had a tie to like Dragon Ball. That's the main anime that got me into anything, like anything. any other anime. That is that number one. It's the Godfather to, I know we have like the top four, the pedestal of
Yeah.
the top four animes, but Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball is like the Godfather to all those because it brought that animation to the Western side of people, and that was like one of the first animes that most people saw, at least our age or a little bit older. So I definitely loved opening up those cards.
Yeah, and when I've seen people open them up too, and I'm just like, yeah, I recognize all those characters.
Yep.
I recognize those scenes in those movies. Uh, damn it, Disney! Why you gotta be like the way you are?
You're like, I can't get on board.
Yeah, I haven't. I haven't been to Disneyland in many, 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 many years.
Dang, we both live pretty
After I
close.
made that firm decision not to support Disney anymore. Yeah, it's been quite a while. Although my girl, she's like, "Oh, we gotta go to Disney. Our couples go to Disney."
You say you
I'm
can
like,
take Mickey Mouse by yourself.
I'm like, that's what I said at first, but then now I'm like, all right, well, we'll go one time.
Yeah,
like
you get
we'll go one
get yourself a $15 churro.
Yeah. Damn. Is that how much they are over there?
I haven't been in years either.
Oh, sheesh. I just know for sure they raise their prices to the point where it's just unreasonable.
Yeah.
That's what I know.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I do have a Universal Studios pass though. I'm a Universal Studios head, 100%.
Okay, that's a little too
Yeah.
far for me. Like we've gone there a couple times, but overall, it's like so far.
Yeah. Whenever I go now as an adult, like I get a hotel room there. I get the hotel room that's right next to it, right there.
Yeah.
At least for one day, just for one day.
When you
that way we can.
When you put a reservation now, are you gonna say, "Oh yes, this is for Professor Getchu"? Can you put that name under Professor Getchu?
I think so, because you know how they have that little like title area right there, or you could put like Doctor, Mister.
You gonna put the PROF, Professor Getchu?
Prof.
Prof. Jose in here asking a question too. Can you give us some pointers on people who want to start streaming? Said Jose. Do you have anything like off the top of your head that like would help someone, just getting into streaming?
Yeah. I would say make sure that you comment on your favorite local / small YouTube live streamer.
Yeah, the networking of it.
Yeah, work on your networking. Don't be shy. Go ahead and just drop a comment. Anything from like, "Yo, this video was dope. I like this."
Yeah,
and that's it.
Yeah.
Something positive. Or you could drop one sentence. Just let that person know that you're there.
Yeah,
That you're there and that you're supporting their stuff by watching it, hitting that like button, and leaving a comment.
Yeah,
so that's a good way to start. Build that community.
Yeah, build the community. Like you see, like you're in someone else's community, but you're also building. Like in a way, you can be building yourself a community too, and putting your name out there and everything. And the networking aspect of things is a very important piece of not only Pokemon, but just life in general. So that's
for growth. I would suggest that in the area of growth.
Yeah.
For starting off, but in terms of equipment, I would probably toss it over to Jay for that one.
Yeah.
In terms of equipment, like what would be good equipment startup, like cheap and efficient?
I mean, if you're able to use your phone, if you have like any smartphone, you can use that as a camera, like 100%. And
100%.
If you just got to stream, just hand cam usually you just stream from your hand cam still, like you can still build a community like that. You might have to work a little bit harder in order to build that community, and you got to make sure your personality shines through whatever you're saying. But you can definitely do it that way. As far as, audio equipment or video equipment, I always say, make sure you improve your audio equipment first before you try to improve any video equipment. Because the way it sounds is more important to people than the way it looks at first. And then after that, everything can kind of catch up. Just get, a webcam if you want a face cam webcam. You don't have to have no crazy camera. I'm speaking like that, but I do have like a really good camera, at my face cam right here. But, it's, it all relies on what you can do for yourself and that channel, what expense you are able to put into the channel at the time. If you can just do it all, then hey, let me know and I will let you know what to get. Cool. Like if that's not up, if it's not any worries on what you can spend, let me know and I'll tell you, hey, get this, get this, get this, and you will be set. Now, you also make sure that you have fun with it, because if you're not having fun with it, it's just not going to work.
Just about to say that right now.
You can have all the best.
Be the number one thing.
You can have all the best equipment in the world, but if you're not having fun with it, and if you're just not, some people probably just aren't cut out to be able to be on the camera and to be able to do this. If it's not like your flow, the way you work, then I would say, maybe, step away from it. But try it. Yeah. Try it. Have fun with it. And, but, you can't all expect to, see that instant gratification of, even 10 subs. Those first 100 subs is tough. They're tough. On this channel, we haven't even got to 100 subs, so it can be very difficult, and it's slow growth, but once the ball gets rolling, it gets rolling.
Yeah.
So, Jose, I hope that helps some way, somehow. Blazing Anime, what's going on, man? Welcome in. Let's go. Kangas in here having another question, possibly, because the other one wasn't a question, Steven. Let's see what this one says. Thumbnails are hard for me. How do you know what to do? And are you using a template for designs? Do you have someone help you with your ideas, or do you just have endless ideas, Jay? Steven, honestly, all my thumbnails are just me messing with whatever software I'm using. I make all my thumbnails on my phone. I don't put them on the computer. I just make them on my phone. I use a thing called BazArt to kind of like clip everything together and work it out. And then I use Lightroom in order to, clean it up and make it pop in whatever fashion. It's just, I just do them. Like sometimes I'll be working on the thumbnail. I'm like, nah, that's stupid. I'm gonna throw it away, and I'll come up with something different. And sometimes it could be. I used to not spend that much time on thumbnails. Now I think about it a little bit more and try to have fun with it here and there. Sometimes they're repetitive, sometimes they're not. But either way, I enjoy it. Get you like with yours, like how, because before it was tough because you would like. I remember you telling me something about your thumbnails before. I forgot what you were saying with it, but you were talking about like the thumbnails and how they are like working out for you.
Yeah, I mean, now I think I downloaded an app. I think, was it BazArt or Bazaar? I forgot what it was. What the app is called BazArt. Exactly, but yeah, a lot of like. Okay, yeah, I think, is that what I use? Hold on, let me see. Oh, Canva.
I use Canva. Canva's another one.
Yeah, I started using Canva. Apparently, a lot of teachers use it. So I was like, all right, let me see what this is about. And then that's when I found, okay, this is like very easy. And yeah, I created my thumbnail, the one and I've been using the same one pretty much for all my thumbnails. I mean, I should put more consideration into my thumbnails, especially when it comes to creating a theme or celebrating a release day or something like that. I feel like that's where I need to work on. That's what I need to work on a little bit more when it comes to thumbnails. But yeah, I mean, thumbnails are important. I mean, it's for the live streams, I've pretty much have used the same one. I mean, I have noticed too. Deep Pocket Monster kind of uses the same thumbnail as well.
Yeah, it's like for me, it's the same like me, but just in like a different way.
Yeah, I know you got the same facial expressions, but got the Ghostbuster costume this time.
Just trying something different. You're trying to make you.
Yeah, but I mean, that goes along with like the
Yeah.
theme, of I think you were opening Fusion Strike,
Yeah.
right? Gengar,
Yeah.
right? Ghost, you're going ghost hunting, and and the colors pop too. The colors are really good. They weren't bland.
Yeah.
So
That's important. It's important. Make it bright. Make it bright. Try to, but not. Don't try to oversaturate it though. It's like
right.
the fine line between it, you know. And it's funny because before I was gonna do that Ghostbusters theme, I was gonna do some other. Like I worked on a thumbnail for like at least 2 hours before I turned it into the Ghostbuster one, and I hated the first one, so I just threw it away. I forgot what it was because it was just so unmemorable. But I was like, all right, let me see if I can turn this into like Ghostbusters. I don't know why. I think the song might have come on somewhere. So I was like, Gengar's a ghost. Let's do this. You know, try to make it happen with that. Clammy
When I
said
first
fusion.
started live,
Go ahead.
when I first started live streaming, I used to write my thumbnails out. So even though I'd have like a generic thumbnail picture, like the title would be like, "Oh, get you and the Temple of the Rainbow Pikachungus," because we would call the Rainbow Pikachu from Vivid Voltage Pikachungus.
That's funny.
Right? Well, yeah, during the Vivid Voltage days. So, or I would title it "Get you and the Raiders of the Lost Pikachungus," you know. Or back to the Pikachungus, or Back to the Future, or
Yeah.
something like, or something like that. Or what was that other movie with the dinosaurs? Not Jurassic Park, but
I was about to say Jurassic Park. Put some respect on my
the cartoon.
Land Before Time.
Land Before Time, or something like that. Land Before Pikachungus, the Land Before Pikachungus. So it would always be something like always searching,
Yeah.
or always trying to look for Rainbow Pikachungus, So yeah, but because I didn't have the editing skills, I wouldn't have the thumbnail matching the title,
Gotcha.
But the idea was definitely there.
Yeah. Like you had the concept, like that's another thing
Yeah.
too. Like your editing, it could take a little while for like anybody to figure out. You may have the idea in your head, but you're like, how the hell do I actually make that happen? And it just takes time, like in messing with it, looking at YouTube videos, trying to put that effort into that too. It could be time consuming. It could be very, very time consuming.
And that can go under recommendations for starting a new channel as well.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of other YouTube videos out there to help you out with
like look for an editing software and master it, or go in on it.
Yeah.
And I think a good live stream that you did, or in terms of podcast, was with Ian with Ian, where he talked about some of the editing software that he uses.
Yeah.
So he would be a good person to talk to when it comes to that type of stuff. So I'd recommend reaching out to him and seeing how he can help you out if he's willing.
Yeah, and don't let him leave you on red. I'll talk to him. Yeah, so appreciate you, Steven. And the Pokédon also had a question in here. Said, I destroyed my bank account, so I won't be able to get packs for a while. Would it be a good idea to stream Pokemon games for the time being while my bank account is in recovery? Said the Pokédon. Hey, man.
If you're having fun.
Yeah, if you're having fun with it and it's something you enjoy, it's gonna work. It's gonna be fine. And if there's something else besides Pokemon that you enjoy, make a channel about that. Have fun with it, and make sure that you make it enjoyable for other people to watch.
Mm-hmm. And I have noticed that a lot of Pokemon YouTubers are starting to do that. They're starting to create a separate channel because they want to do something else that they love doing as well.
Yeah.
And maybe they've originally had that. Maybe that was their original idea for live streaming. But, Pokemon just came into their life in the way that it did, where they're live streaming Pokemon.
Yeah.
And now they have the opportunity to maybe do what they originally wanted to do. Like I know, for example, Pocket Packs, he just started he's going to start a brand new gaming channel because that's something that he wants to do. He wants to, live stream video games, but also not hurt the Pokemon channel that he also built up as well. And that's one of the things that I
Yeah.
thought about as well. Like, oh, when separating the Fortnite from the Pokemon and starting a brand new gaming channel.
It,
But like
it,
I said, like I got a new career job a month ago, so things changed, you know.
yeah. I mean, and I think with me, with like the original channel concept, I was basketball content, sneaker content. We were doing podcasts about basketball and sneakers, and I did want to
Something you love.
it's something I love, and I did want to bring, even when I transferred it into Pokemon, in the back of my head, I would talk to Dub about this for like forever. Like, I miss doing podcasts. I miss talking to people. I miss, just talking about things that we both enjoy. And even now that I have this separate channel for this, I still want to do like a podcast that is more broad and, just not necessarily anything to do with Pokemon or like collecting, but it could be about anything in general. Just because I enjoy, you know, just whether we're shooting the shit, having fun with it, and talking about random things, or it's just one of those things that I really enjoy, picking people's brain about things. And it was funny, like Clampy always knows things about like paranormal stuff. And we always have like funny conversations about it, so it'd be fun to like kind of talk about some of those type of like just random things like on a podcast like that.
Oh yeah, like the new UFOs
Yeah.
files that were just dropped and all
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
and
man.
how now they're changing the status from like, oh, it doesn't exist to now, oh, they exist all around us.
Yeah. So
Like,
it would just be funny. Like, it'd be cool. It'd be fun. Something that I would enjoy myself, and to be part of.
yeah, yeah,
So
that alien thing was tripped me out, bro. Because I looked more into it, and I was just like,
and you're like, whoa,
th-
whoa,
there-
whoa.
Daddy, chill.
these things are literally like right here, just like right outside my doorstep, and that they move at such speed and quickness that we have no technology to describe it.
Right?
Like this was presented in front of like Democrats and Republicans, and like real people. So
Hey, it's
yeah,
so
dude,
casual too. So casual,
so
like
casual.
you're like,
Yeah,
oh yeah, they're out here. Like,
yeah, yeah. Like we
excuse me?
were, one of them was like 50 feet right outside our base, and
Yeah.
then when we stepped outside, like and try to interact with it, it just shot up at such a speed and such an angle that it's, according to our laws of physics and all that, it shouldn't be possible.
Oh man, that was, yeah, it's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy, but it's
So,
it's it's
but I
fun.
think the whole argument about that was just like, oh, we have to create some sort of like, we got to start churning it from like this isn't real to this is real, and we gotta do something in case we get attacked. In which case, we just got absolutely.
But we're still out here collecting Pokemon, so we're good.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Shout out to all my alien Pokemon. Shout out
So,
to
I was
Deoxys.
about to say shout out to Deoxys.
Shout out to Deoxys. Sheesh. They made that card pretty good too. Pretty good looking. Like the one that it looks like he's getting beamed up,
Mhm.
and then the
Oh
other
yeah, the
one too
VMAX.
from Crown Zenith.
Yeah, those are nice cards.
I noticed that kids like that one a lot in
Yeah,
particular.
it's cool.
Yeah.
It's a dope ass card, man. Ricky said, "You talking about the UAP congressional hearing with David Grush?" Yes, Ricky. Ricky dropping it all the way down.
Got it down to the
Hey Ricky.
Daddy, chill.
Ricky.
Hey Shiny Bird, what's happening, man? How you doing, bro?
Shiny. What up? What up, gang? What up, gang? Get you
Get
here
you
with
here.
Shiny Bird,
Prof-
Jade's Corner TCG.
Professor, get you
Y'all know
here.
what it is. Go ahead, smash that. Oh, one button, one time.
Oh man.
Pause.
Man, it's yeah. So I think after this, we're gonna see where this like the separate
I'm
podcast channel
excited for you,
goes.
man. I'm excited for you, brother.
We're-
Yeah, I feel like you'll be able to let loose more. You'll
Mhm.
be able to like feel more comfortable, and who knows? I think this will transfer over to the Pokemon channel, and you'll
Yeah.
probably feel even better over there.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun to see. Like if we it's gonna be cool to see if we get some new faces like on this side of the channel, and like, oh, they enjoy this part of the content. They don't even know that about the other content, which is fine. But they're still in here supporting this and hanging out in here with the podcast and discovering new people. Smokey Ferret came in here, said, cheers guys, he just found the channel, he subs to both of us. So like that. So I appreciate that. Look at that cutie.
This is Cheech.
Look at Cheech.
Say what's up, Cheech. Right here, look.
Sheesh.
This is the dog that's always barking in my intros whenever I'm like, what up, gang? Get you here. Back at it with another Pokemon video. Oh.
Ricky said, can I pet that dog? She's so cute. It's a boy,
Yeah.
boy or girl?
Yeah, he.
I figured since it's Cheech. Like,
yeah. Good boy.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. Love my Cheech.
Get you. Any other things that you kind of wanted to touch upon, or like you had in mind that you wanted to talk about?
I mean, just make sure that for all y'all out there, just make sure that we're trying to build each other up. You know what I'm saying? Like, call out any things that you feel may not be right in the community. I feel like we're at a point now in the community where people are more willing to speak up about things or be more open-minded about, maybe not more open-minded, but more willing to speak out about things that they may not see right in the community. I feel like we're past like I called it the honeymoon phase where, everybody was just trying to be nice to each other and not cause any problems and any drama.
Yeah.
But I feel like now we're kind of past that already, and we need to address some of these things in the community, y'all, like the good, the bad, the ugly. Some of the things that we brought up today are examples of how you can keep a caution on things when you see like something that may not look right, like the booster packs being removed from the screen. If you see that, then that person is sus 100%. If you see people like deleting their social medias after being called out by scamming certain people, that's another like red flag as well. So just keep an eye for some of those things that we mentioned today, because there are people out there that may seem like reputable people, that may have a lot of followers, that may have a lot of subs, but they're doing some of these scummy things behind your back.
Yeah.
So, or in front of your face, right on the live stream.
Yeah.
Right. So, speak up about it. Don't be afraid. If you're coming from an honest and truthful place, then the people will see it as well.
I feel like you kind of hit that on the nail right there, like to a T, man. We see, you just do better, always, I feel like you should always operate with the notion that at any moment this could be taken away from you. And I think when you kind of have that mindset, you kind of make sure to put your best foot forward and do your best for the people that are in here supporting you, and for the people that want to see you fail too, because they want to see you fail and they're like, ha, I told you so. Don't let them do that. You control whatever you're doing. My wife always says this: you control whether or not you're gonna have a good day. To my son, to my 6-year-old. So it's really all up on your shoulders on like how you operate, and just make sure you're doing it.
Real breaking, Nate said that exact same thing to us as well.
Yeah.
At Card Party.
It stands true. Like something so simple, it stands true.
Yeah.
Shiny.
Shout out to Wifey. Wifey got the knowledge.
She out here speaking facts to Ashley. Absolutely.
That's the kind of people you need around you.
Yeah, and she'll say how it is. I think some people forget what we do is a legit privilege, says Steven. Yeah, man, it is. Being able to be in here, have the time, have the capability to be on something like this. Yeah, no, it's an absolute privilege. Shiny said, "How is Jay's hair so perfect?" Hey, man, it's a little bit messed up right now, but we getting through. We getting through. We getting through. Shiny.
Hair earlier. Sheesh.
All right, funny story. So I sent Get You the link to
Oh,
this
oh
Zoom
man.
call, and I was like, I sent it off. So I'm like, all right, it'll be ready for later on, whatever. So I'm just sitting here like in the dark. There's no lights on at all. Just in the dark, like on my phone down here, and then
On his phone, or so he claims. I didn't see what his hand was doing for the record down there, folks. It was dark. Okay, it was dark. His hair was like looked like that boy had like some sex hair going on or something, you know? Like my boy. Wow.
bro, I was like legit like I looked like a deer in the headlights when I looked at the camera because the camera was on.
I should have changed my voice when I was thinking about it. I was like, dude, I should have came in like, hello, I'm hungry. What you doing there, Jay?
And what's funny is that the sound only comes from the headphones. The headphones were like far away, so I just heard like a little sound, and I was like, and then I looked at the camera. I was like, oh shit, he's in here. That shit was hilarious.
I should have screenshotted it.
I was like,
uh,
dude, that's crazy.
uh,
Alex,
Pokey Don says, "Get you looks like you're about to sell some blue dolphin."
yo, that's insane. Jose said, "God bless the community, love it." Yo, I love it here too, man. All right, to finish off, Hart had one question in here too. Said, "What are your thoughts about creators only talking to members in the chat?" That's if you're a small creator, I would say that's stupid and ridiculous. If you're a larger creator, I would say that might be the only reason they're doing that. Maybe is because that's the only thing that catches their eye with a different color in the name. But even then, I would try to make the effort to talk to someone that doesn't have a green name in my chat or a blue name in my chat. So I think that's pretty selfish and ridiculous to only talk to people that are members.
Yeah. Yeah. Ditto. Same thing. I always tried to go out of my way to acknowledge everybody in the chat. If I see a new name pop up that I don't recognize, then I'll acknowledge it. Absolutely, because that could be a new member or a new follower or a new subscriber.
Yeah.
New potential right there. So you always got to try to reach out to everybody as best as you can. But I completely understand if you have like, maybe over 200 people in the live stream plus whatever, and a whole bunch of people are typing at the same time.
Yeah.
So I understand. So yeah, I agree with Jay. Same.
Yeah, it's tough. How can you memorize names easily? I'm terrible at it, said Ashley. I think we see a lot of the same names a lot of times, and it just becomes second nature. Yeah. Yeah. 61 subs, 19 people watching, said Steven. Hey, let's go. That's a good ratio, man.
Yeah, like I remember on my last live stream, I had 2 people come in that I haven't seen since I was under 1,000 subs.
That's crazy.
And that was J Family Gaming. I haven't seen them in my live stream.
He came into my stream
over a
too.
year. Yeah, you see? Yeah. And so and that's one example of remembering names, right? Because he used to come in all the time.
Yeah.
Back in the day, because he was ripping packs with his son.
Yeah.
He was trying to start a channel up, but he I think he had other things to work on.
Mm-hmm.
But he came back. He came back, and so that's one name that I remember for sure because they were regulars.
Yeah.
And then there was somebody else too who showed up that I haven't seen in a long, long time either. And I was just like, dude, what's up?
Right.
Oh, well, Chili showed up too, but he's been coming back because he's really been loving the Scarlet and Violet era a lot.
That's nice.
He's been coming back because of that.
That's awesome to hear, man. It's good to see him back in like the chats too. I saw him in yours. He was in mine.
Yeah, and he dropped the short the other day.
Did he? I didn't see it.
Yeah, if this Pokemon existed in real life or something like that.
Oh, really?
Remember those?
Yeah, I remember he used to do those. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's got talent, man.
No, he
those
does.
Things are gonna blow up.
Yeah, he really does.
Yeah, he's coming back. He's coming back a little bit, but that's another member who had to step away for like over half a year I would say.
Yeah.
And we remember him because Chili made the logo for my channel, and he did it without me asking. He just did it out of the kindness of his heart. He just, dude, I really love your channel. I love who you are. I love what you're doing, and I just made this for you.
It's
I was
it's
just like,
those connections that kind of like just you know
yeah,
just go beyond like what we're doing in here too. And I mean, I've been fortunate enough to connect with like a lot of people that have been into my streams, whether it's in DMs, whether it's like emails, whatever, just talk. And it's really makes you feel like you're doing something right, like you're doing something more than just for yourself. Because when you're starting off doing this, it's kind of for yourself because you want to have fun with this. But then there's a certain point where you get to, you're like, dude, everybody's having fun with this. I want to do this for you guys just as much as I want to do it for me. And eventually, if you're consistent with the content and you start making long form videos or live streams, you'll reach that kind of level and be able to like feel that extra drive and motivation to do better or continue to put out content for everybody.
yeah.
Yeah, man. So get you on that note. I appreciate your time in here, bro. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you having me, man. It's
Absolutely.
always a pleasure here, brother. I mean, we got to put it up. We got to put the West Coast up, man. So, we're out here. We're still pushing. We're still grinding. We're still present.
Last of a dying breed, man.
Yeah. We're still here after all this negativity.
Yeah.
And all these negative things happening in the community.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of positive things happening.
Absolutely,
And
man.
as long as we stick together, we'll get through all the ugly.
Yeah, man. No doubt. Thank you again. Appreciate everybody that's been in here. Ricky, Jose in here said, West Coast, please stand up. Let's go, Jose. Heart is where you roam. Dizzy Hippie, Ashley O, Alex, Heart is where you roam. The Polka Dawn, Dizzy Hippie, my mods, Clamp Fan, Shiny Vert, Kangas Krantz, Alex, everybody that was in here pretty much the whole time, just hanging out. Dude, thank you so much. We will be streaming on the Jay's Corner TCG channel on Monday. I'll probably we have the Cosmic up on that channel for that. Smack Daddy been in here too. Sven as well. I'll probably have a couple collection boxes on there for the site for you guys too, if you guys are interested in all that stuff. And I hope to do another podcast or two next week with everybody. Polka DJ Raid, Dizzy, we have to drop the link. We don't have redirects here. We're a small channel.
Oh no.
We're a small channel, Dizzy. We're a small but humble channel.
Hey, this got to be a good humbling experience, though.
Hey, man, it is. It's a different feel. So, Dizzy, if you want to drop DJ's link, to go show him some love, guys. It feels weird starting all over. I'm not gonna lie. Guys, Dizzy Hippie just dropped the link for Polka DJ. Go over there, show him some love. Jay's Corner Raid, yeah, Jay's Corner Raid, Jay's podcast raid. I don't know what the hell we say. Just Jay Raid. He'll know what he means. He'll know.
Yeah, Jay Raid.
Jay's tiny corner. Facts. Shout out to Steven on that one. Guys,
Steven
once again, thank you all so much for being part of the podcast, in the chat, saying some stuff, hanging out in here. Thank you all again. Get you one more time. Appreciate you. And until next time,
brother.
My name is Joey. That's Get You. Peace out, guys.
Get You.